everybody, welcome to part 8 of how to make your own Attack on Titan built-in harness. So now you should be on the tiny gray back piece. So to put it on, you'll cross the two belts that goes onto your back, and then you would adjust where the gray piece is. The middle part of the gray piece should have a belt going through there. I'm sorry if I don't make sense, but you guys will understand this later on in the video. Cross the two piece onto your back and hold where the two belts intersect and glue them together. So after you adjust this, hold where the two belts intersect and glue it together. Now for this one, I did glue the bottom by mistake, but anyways, put your belts under it and glue it down onto the gray piece. I used my pen to outline where the belt lays on top because it's easier to glue it. And then you would glue it and then put the done belts on top of it to hold everything down. Do this to the other side. Now if you remember when I said in the first couple parts, part 1, part 2, or part 3, I said that you could either make a rectangular looking back piece or a square. So if you made a square piece, and this might be a little bit different for you, I'm not sure because I did the longer one. So if you did a square, you might have to use your own creativeness to, fix or adjust these square back pieces. But if you guys try it my way and it works, then good job. The top will flop down, so to stop that from flopping down, cut two small done belts and glue them onto this part. Now take them and glue it under the top belt and on top of the belt from behind. So it should look like this. Then you can cut off the extra tips. Now onto connecting the top and the bottom. Yay! Now wear your whole bottom half. Now take one side of your chest belt and pull it down to the belt and mark where it hits the end of the belt buckle. In this picture, I just moved my belt up so that you guys can see that the belt mark and where the belt buckle is, it should line up together. Now punch a hole of where you marked it, and this is kind of hard, but now what you will do is take off the leg front belt, put the chest side belt in like this, then put back on the front leg belt. So it should be the leg belt from your butt, and then the back side belt that connects to the chest, and then the front leg part that crosses in front of your pelvic area. Now do the same thing to the other side. After doing that, you can cut off any extra fabric that you don't like showing. Now turn your front two chest side into belts with the belt buckles. Now I'm going to show you guys how to put the side belts onto your main belt. Flip the middle of the belt, mark your spot for your chest side. You will fold and push it through. We are doing this because our belts are small. If you want to go out and buy bigger belt buckles, you can. I couldn't find any that worked, so I just went with my 1-inch belt. It is hard and tiring to do every time, but I guess it's worth it, and plus the belt matches all my other belts. Now you turn it to its side and open it up. Stick the middle of the belt up the hole and then pull the belt from both sides. It should look like this. To take it out, you do the reverse. Fold it, push it up, take out the middle of the belt, and pull out the belt. Now doing this too much could result in the black pleather ripping. Just don't do it too often. So just try your best not to do it too often, because the main belt rubbing against the black pleather due to friction, they won't just slide past each other, they will, rub against each other because of the friction. So the black leather is really soft and thin, so it could rip if you guys aren't careful. Just don't pull and stretch and rub your black leather too much because it could rip. Anyhow, so to put on the belt buckle, you would put on the whole thing, belt one side of the chest side onto the main belt, and then you will belt the main belt normally, and then put it through the little belt holder, and then you would put the other chest side belt onto the main belt, and that is how you would put on the chest side belts. You have to do one chest side, the main belt, and then the other chest side. It should look like this. Then take your chest side and measure it up to the belt buckle. After measuring both sides, take off the belt buckle from the main belt and turn the chest sides into belts. Now put on all the harness that you've made so far. Now you're going to measure about 5 inches up from where the chest side is from the main belt. Take a done belt, put it to where the 5 inches mark is, and I recommend just keeping this together. If you guys leave this in just one whole piece like I did, it will look better, but it will connect the top and the bottom together. So if you guys would like the top harness and the bottom harness to be separate, you guys can change this into a belt buckle. But then you guys are going to have to, do that your own way, because I won't be telling you guys how to do that. And also, it won't look as good because the angles will be off and it wouldn't look really good. So I recommend just doing what I'm doing and just leaving the top and the bottom harness connected by these two strands. So to measure them, you will put it up to where the 5 inches mark is. Put it under the main belt, under the hip side, and then down to the back belt. And then after you're done measuring, you can mark where it is with your black pen, and then you would glue it. You can glue this while wearing it on, or you can take it off and glue it. Now I took mine off to glue it, and I used these clips to just clip them to keep them in the right position. If you're wearing your harness while gluing this, you don't have to clip these because you're wearing it, and the angles will just be the way they are because you are standing and you're wearing them while they're drying. So if you guys remember, I said that two pleather surface gluing together does not work that well. So I just cut an extra normal strip and glue it on top of the surface. I did this because the back of the black pleather had, I guess you could say that it has friction, so that it would actually hold on to the surface of the black pleather. So I just did that so that they would stay together. I recommend doing this to both chest side belt and just a little bit onto where the butt part of the black pleather. So after doing that, do that same thing to the other side. After leaving that to dry, that should be your whole harness. You guys should be done with your whole harness by now. If somehow you guys are not done with your harness, then you might have missed a step or something. So you guys are done with your whole harness. In the next part, I'll show you guys how to make the skirt. So keep watching. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys in part 9.